What influences major foundation education grant decisions? Imagine trying to get a big grant to support education for African Americans. What do foundations look at before they say yes or no? Let's break down what really influences their choices. First, foundations want to see if your project matches their main goals. If they focus on helping underrepresented groups or reducing educational gaps, your project needs to show how it fits. For example, if you're working with historically Black colleges and universities or programs that support minority students, that's a big plus. Next, they check if your organization is eligible. Usually, they prefer applications from tax-exempt groups, schools, or nonprofits. If you're an institution that serves African American students, like an HBCU, you're more likely to get noticed. Financial need and how good your project is matter a lot. For scholarships or fellowships, they look at whether students really need help, often using documents like the free application for federal student aid. They also consider academic records, leadership skills, and community work to see if the applicant deserves the award. They also want to know how you plan to use the grant money. Funds are often used for things like buying books and computers, training teachers, or improving campus facilities. Some foundations prefer funding research projects or programs that directly help students rather than covering operational costs. Impact is key. Foundations want to fund projects that show they will make a real difference. If your project can demonstrate how it will increase access or improve educational outcomes for African American students, that's a strong point in your favor. Your ability to carry out the project also matters. They look at your experience, the skills of your team, and whether you have a good plan in place. If your team includes diverse leaders or researchers, that can be a bonus. Finally, following the application process perfectly is essential. Submitting on time, filling out all forms correctly, and aligning your proposal with the foundation's interests are musts. For example, if you're applying for a grant to support African American students through scholarships, make sure your application clearly states how many students will benefit, what their needs are, and how the funds will be used. If your institution wants to improve facilities at an HBCU, highlight how that will help students succeed. Research grants for policy work or community programs are also popular. If you want to develop leadership or mentorship programs for African American youth, focus on how your project will create measurable results. In short, foundation decisions are based on how well your project matches their mission, your eligibility, the need and quality of your work, how you plan to use the funds, and the potential to make a real difference. Keep these factors in mind, and your chances of securing a grant to support educational opportunities for African Americans will improve greatly.